Hello again. I hope this will work now. I'm not sure. This is like the second or third attempt. So I'm gonna make that roast peony. And I was browsing on Instagram like I always do when I go to bed or in bed and trying to sleep and look at pretty flowers, and I saw this peony colored candy, cotton candy, ice cream-ish color, and I thought, oh, that's pretty. So that was so inspiring, and I will definitely make a new peony again with candy colors. But I'm just gonna, but I have to make the template for that first. But for now, I'm just gonna use the rose peony. I haven't made this flower for a couple of years now, so it's new for me again as well. And I'm just gonna do the opposite of the tutorial. In the tutorial, I used Conqueror. Let me start over. I made this flower a few times already before, of course, and the first time I did use this paper. This is cardboard, lightweight cardboard, 65 lb from Trophy, the brand Clairefontaine, and it's printing paper. And for the rose peony in the tutorial, I have used Conqueror lightweight paper, which is like 24-28 lb. And I shaded that with, I think, 2 different kind of ink color pink. I'm not sure anymore. I haven't I've seen the tutorial for quite some time now as well. So I'm gonna go back to using this like, it's actually like photo carton, but a bit lighter. This is cardboard printing paper, 65 lb, which is still lighter than cardstock. But also, if you make this wet, it can happen that it rips, it tears, but it's okay, as you can see here. Do you see here? But that's okay. I don't mind, and you won't see that once you have assembled the flower. And natural flowers, they do have tears in their petals too. So, at least to me, that is no problem. So I'm gonna shade. I'm gonna use soft pastels for this one, yellow and white. If you do not like how eventually dries up, you can always cover it with Mod Podge, because it could be a bit messy. Like I said, it looks pretty, but this is something you have to see, and you have to do it and to see it for yourself. If it's it's something for you or not, because it can get very, very messy. As you can see here, so my template look. Even if it dries, you will still have this. And that's why when I use pastels, I always like to use Mod Podge, because then it won't be so mushy. Mushy is Japanese, by the way. Smushy. Okay, well, back to pastel. I'm gonna add 2 layers, just white. When it comes to the circle, you only have to do one side, because the other side you won't see it anyways. So just first white, and then can you guys see it when you can't really, can you? I'll try to, because my hand is blocking. I have to, so, and then I take a wet brush and just and let it dry. You don't see it now because it's wet, but it will change. You'll see the color and the effect once it's dry. And now for the bigger petal, or the template, which does not fit. And for this one, I actually did both sides. You just have to color it. Don't overthink it, just, color. Let's rub it. I will do one side first. For this, I did faded the white one first before adding. I think sometimes my hand is in front of the video, but there's not much I can do about that right now. I just have to position better next time. But I'm not using my phone anymore. Using my camera first time. So let's see. And I think I will be needing professional lighting for the tutorial. Just let it dry. See? And then once it's dry, and it dries up very quickly, then you will see the, actually you can see it already right now. Light maybe not good. See, when it dries, you will start seeing that the white's still there. So, and some part will be dry, and we'll just add the yellow. It's still in front of it. See that? When it's wet, it doesn't really work. So then you just have to wait, I guess. I'm sorry if my hand is in front of the thingy all the time. But then I know next time that I should put it just in front of me, or like I used to do before. Or two. Sorry, my memory card was full. And I do not have the cable. I can't find the cables to attach it to my laptop. So I need those first. So, well, we just have to do. Just keep coloring. I really hope that using the camera with everything would be better, but oh well. I use wet paintbrush again. Again, if you don't like you should just try and see for yourself. If you do not like the result of this, then you could also just use your fingers instead of using a wet paintbrush. Or a layer of Mod Podge, which can be really, really pretty. Perhaps I will do it with this one, but I'm not sure because letting it dry does require some time, and I really don't know how to entertain you guys while waiting for the templates to dry. Could show a different flower, but I don't know which one it. And I really am thinking about making the agapanthus as well soon. And with a little bit of adjustments. And this time I'm just gonna both at the same time and see how that works out. And it's what, so I just have to use, you know, you just have to experiment sometimes to find out. And I really like using pastels just because of this. You can mix colors together. Very, very easy. I haven't done that with dyes or ink pad yet, but I am not sure how that will turn out. You can always try, of course. And I should buy pan pastels. I really would love those, but that's so expensive here in Europe. Maybe it's cheaper in the USA, but here just for one pan pastel, it's I think it's like 12 euros. So maybe someday if when I visit US, then I will buy some. So that's for the shading. Just put my pastels back. And put this away, let it dry. As you can see, this is dry already. Which you can't see because of the light, but it looks, you can always adjust a bit more. Of course, just more yellow to it. This trim and just use my fingers to rub it out. And I think this, using the pan pastel for the tulip, would look so beautiful. Because, wait, let me take one wet wipe first before I continue talking. Using pan pastels for the tulip, because if you look at the natural tulip and you have tried this effect, the outside of the tulip petal, it has this effect too, if you've done this. And the inside is, that's where the actual color is of the tulip leaves. That's why when I make my tulip, I always assemble them like the florists on Instagram do. Because I think that's prettier. I've used this so much I can't even get it clean anymore. Okay, using my embossing line. I also need to buy a new pad for just making the video because I'm afraid to show you the other side. So I have to do that too. Okay, so this one was the first, right? Yeah, this is the first. As you can see, I did not do this right because the inside I didn't color for the first flower. Let me adjust the camera a bit. Because you won't see this anyways, because we're gonna hide this in the clear plastic refillable bowl, which I'm taking in my hand right now, and my embossing tool. What we're gonna do, because this is what you guys wanted to see, how I shape my, that was Etsy, I don't know if you can hear that, but got an order. if you're watching this, and if it's you ordered, thank you for your order. I really appreciate that. And because of you, I can continue making flowers, guys. Really, because crafting in the Netherlands isn't cheap at all. I can get my papers cheaper because, well, I do come there a lot, so I made a deal with him. But all the others, like wires, glue, and a styrofoam bowl, crafting in the Netherlands, it's not like the USA. We do not have coupons or offers and stuff like that. We do not have a lot of crafting shops or art shops where you can buy supplies, and those are really expensive here. I already tried to make my templates cheaper because it is still euros and you guys are paying with US dollars, but please do understand it's not because I want the money, it's because crafting supplies is really expensive here. Mod Podge, yeah, well, for example, is already 8 euros. That's like, I don't know how much dollars is right now. I think and a half, right? Times and a half. So it will be like $12 for Mod Podge. Tacky glue only is $10. And I do use the glue a lot, and especially when I'm making tutorials for or this, I have to, when making video, which I really would like to do, but I also thinking like, you know, I do have to use my supplies as well. I have to use glue, I have to use my wires, my styrofoam bowls, and it's not very cheap. So sometimes I'm very hesitant to make videos because of the flowers. But I also understand that you guys would like to see that. But just want to show you that it's not cheap here in this country. So I sometimes wish that I was in the USA so everything would be cheaper. But oh well. What I do is I take my, I don't know if you guys can see it. Take my clear plastic bowl. Normally I would use a smaller one. And then put one petal here. And then I'll just put my finger. And then just shape it. You don't have to think about how you shape it. Just shape it. You will curl the ends, but the reason I do this is just to curl the ends and to take out the pleat. So as you can see by now, trying to see, the end will be curled, but the pleats, you will see the folds still. That's okay, you can pretend it's the veins, but at least the pleats will disappear and look more natural. And there are other ways to curl the flowers. Like with this bamboo stick. So I just use like, I think if this is 3/4 until here. Shape it until there. And if you use this smaller one, I have them in a lot of sizes. It will turn differently because the petals are bigger and the bowl is smaller. See, you will get the curls, natural curls, and you will get the cup-shaped petals. That's why I'm using this. And I know that it's, I have heard and learned that this is something you can't buy. all over the year, but only during Christmas. So if you guys would like me to offer my, clear plastic bowls in the shop, I won't add extra. I'll just charge for the regular price, but I do have to charge for shipping. I won't mind doing that. So if you leave a comment if you would like clear plastic bowls, and I will put them in the shop. And if I don't see comments about it, then I know that you guys don't want it. Then I won't put it in the shop. Some of you have found other solutions like bath bombs, molding thingy, and egg-shaped, but well, you know, if it works, it's fine. So now it's curled and it's flat. The pleats are out. I'll just unfold another one so you can see the difference. You see the difference? This is for the angel cheek peony as well. You just pleat them, and then assemble them together. You know, just like this. And voila! You do not have to shape it in a plastic bowl. And for the Massegulagore peony, you do not have to pleat. You just have to shape them in the clear plastic in the bowl, like without pleating. So you just like put them like this for the Massegulagore peony, and you just emboss it. Or if you're using more lightweight paper, you just emboss the ends. Just, you know, just like that. But, I hope that was clear. If not, let me know. Yeah, just leave a message in the comment and I will try to explain there. I'm sorry, I need to drink. Okay, where was I? Yes, angel peony is you just have to pleat them, but that's a video that I already showed in a carnation video, how to pleat my paper. And in the peony, you just have to shape them in the clear plastic bowl, as I'm showing now, petal by petal. And but because it's still flat, I will use a bigger one, put them in just like that, and I'll just shape it like 1/4 of the templates, or half, and I will make sure that it will adjust to the shape of the bowl, and it won't be flat anymore. See? And then, but I would suggest pin a hole before, because you might have to shape it again, because pinning a hole can sometimes... Did I already pin a hole here? Seems like it. Oh. I'll just, and this is something, you know, you have to do again. You can always shape them more, curl them more, pleat them more, whatever it needs to get a certain look. I always pleat them a couple of times, or curl them a couple of times, or emboss them a couple of times. And sometimes one time is enough, but most of the time, like curling the new flower, the iris. I've done that a couple of times too, just to add more drama. The more curls, the better. And I also had a picture I use as a reference, which for the curls, so I would suggest do that. You won't get it 100% because it's still paper and that's a real flower, but you can get close to like 70-80% if you are patient enough to curl, pleat, or shape them for like 3 times, whatever it needs for you to think that's perfect. That's what I want. So, yes, these are not easy flowers, I know, but to get lifelike looking flowers, preparing does take time sometimes, yes. And that's the difference. That's where the difference is. When you prepare your flower templates, that's where you will see the beauty of your work. Because if you spend time enough preparing it and really paid attention to details, which I can't say because, I mean, look at this. I don't know if you guys can see it, but look, tear and everything. That's okay, you won't see that. Once it's all put together, you won't see that. So that's the secret, I think. You just have to put a lot of time in preparing your petals. Don't be satisfied. I think I've already said that before. With shipping them 1 time. Do it 2 times, do it 3 times, 4 times if necessary. 5 times. This takes time. I really have to be patient. So, this is something I actually should have done before, so I didn't have to do this, all of this now. But I only prepared, I only colored them. I embossed them, so I still have to do that. That's okay. I hope you guys can see it. So, I was a bit in a slump, doubting, had a lot of doubts. I'm just gonna tell you guys because I don't know why I was thinking maybe my flowers were too difficult or my tutorials wasn't very clear. The issue with the paper. So sometimes I feel just like, oof, I should with doubting whether to continue or not. And I do say that I don't think the brand of the paper or the weight of the paper is important, because it's actually how you just prepare your templates. I've made flowers out of photo carton for an exhibition, as I think I've already told that. And some of you guys, I do have friends on Facebook, and about Facebook, please do not get mad if I do not accept you as a friend when you send a friend request. It is something personal I would like to have for myself as well. It's actually just for family and relatives, and I do not post a lot of there anymore anyways. Back to the paper. So I made these flowers for an exhibition here in, for an exhibition in the museum. And using photo carton, because in Germany they only have that paper. So, and I was using the same techniques for those extra large flowers as I am now working with very, very, very stiff paper. I think there was like 90 lb or even higher. That was literally like carton paper. So it is not about the paper. I also do believe that you could make this with cardstock, as long as how you know how to make your paper pliable. I did not show it this time because I already used the brush, which was wet, so it was very easy to pleat. But if I can imagine, if your cardstock is very stiff, you just dip them in a bowl of water like I did in the carnation video. And that was really, really easy too. So I really do believe that you could make these flowers with cardstock as well. Just knowing the fact that I made them with carton, which is, I think, much more heavier than cardstock, 65 lb cardstock. It's just how you... And part 3. Memory card is full so fast. Can't believe it. I need to get a cable. I really thought I had it with me, but I had it here, but apparently I don't. Well, at least I thought it was the right cable, but it's not. So I don't know where it is. So I have to look. To go to the shop and ask what kind of cable I need for this camera to attach on directly to my laptop. So I won't have this problem. See, every time you do something, you always learn new stuff. Can you guys still see? I'm not even looking at the screen anymore, so I'm not sure if you guys can see it. Maybe I should put it a bit higher. I think. Just like that. And also, I was thinking if you guys would like, if I did create, to go live. And then so we all could make flowers together at the same time. Of course, it's going to be evening for me, but I won't mind. I'm just thinking it's always more fun to make flowers with other people. So I was thinking, like, you know, if I, for example, announce now that, well, Friday or yeah, something that we'll be making, that I'll be going live, so we could all make the Peony or any flower. Yeah, but then I was thinking, then everyone has to have that template as well. So I'm not sure. So just let me know if you guys would like that idea, if we all went, if I went live, so we all could go make flowers together and chat as well. Could be fun. So this is a big ass one. And this one, I'm not sure if there's in the Netherlands, but I got this one from when I was in Germany and making those large flowers for the museum. So, and because the paper was so stiff, I was using gloves as well. Because after a while, my hands got really, really painful, and now I lost my embossing tool. Oh, here it is. I was using white gloves to make the flowers because I only had, and that was really so stressful, 3 weeks to make 450 large flowers. 3 weeks. I'm like, oh my gosh. But it was so much fun. And I do wish that someday I will get a commission like that again. One can hope. It's awesome. Or a wedding. It's a whole wedding. Make some bouquets. One bouquet or one centerpiece, but never done an entire wedding. That would be so awesome. So, yeah, if you don't have this large bowl, I can imagine you can also use just a soup bowl. The one you use for eating soup, or salad bowl, or anything you might think has this shape. So I will be shaping that one. I just need a smaller. It's somewhere here. Hold on. I will turn this one around because I will put glue on this side. So that's why I turn it around. Just the shape. That's fine. Let's see if it fits. Styrofoam ball here. Et voila. And then the last one. I know Margie asked me for a quick video. Sorry, Margie. This is not a quickie. But this is, you know, it's fine. I'm already glad that people are asking for, you know, help. Because some are just, you know, I don't know. Maybe they give up after the first try and they're not satisfied with the result. Yeah. I just do offer my tutorials and my templates, but it is still you that has to make it. And some flowers are easy, and some flowers does need some practice. And it is up to you if you're willing to practice or how much you like making flowers, paper flowers. And if you would like to improve your skill and learn or not and get better at it. Then practice is mandatory. It is. I mean, I've posted a picture of the very first paper flower project I made, and that did not look pretty at all. And I mean, back then I thought it was damn pretty. I was really happy with the results, especially with the roses and you know. And then after some time, it was hard to find templates for the flower I wanted to make. So, well, when that happens, or I didn't always like how, I didn't always thought they looked real, and that's how I ended up making my own, or designing my own flowers and templates. Just cleaning up a bit, put everything back together. This one too. Actually, pretty tired lately. I don't know if it's because of the weather, but especially a week ago, I was such a slump. I just did not have the energy or the motivation. I'm just using a short wire, a leftover I had. So don't think like, oh, I have to use a short one. You may if you want to. You may use a larger one if you want to. But I'm just using this one because it's a leftover. I mean, these wires here are quite expensive as well, because of the, mostly is because of the shipping. I lost my bent nose gear. I don't know where it is. Excuse me. I will be away for a bit. I'm looking for my bent nose gear. I think I'm getting old, guys. I keep losing stuff. I don't know where they put it and then it's gone. What the beep? I can't find it. I don't know where it is. I really have no idea. I'll just use this wire and I hope it will work. A wire cutter, and hope I can. Yeah, it works too. So, what I'm doing now, oh, I'm sorry, I was out of screen. It's in the tutorial, so maybe I should put this a bit higher so I've got more space to see. Where's my bent nose plier? I have no idea. Oh, well, it must be here somewhere. so weird. Okay, using this styrofoam ball. The measurement could be different from the one in the tutorial, because in the tutorial I used the large one first. I don't know why. I thought that was fun. Use the last one first, but now I'm gonna do the opposite. I'm gonna start, like I also mentioned in the tutorial, with smaller one, like just given. So in the tutorial, I started with the flower you saw in the picture. I started with this big one, I mean. And I'm going to show how you can make them the other way by starting at the start. It's always good to know that there are other options. And it's really up to you how creative your mind is, or how much you're willing to experiment. So I'm just using a short wire left over, and just attach. I think this is gonna have a problem here. I want to show this because it is close, and the flower is gonna be big. Oh, I shall see. Yeah. I need to put my... Okay, I'm sorry for what's gonna happen. It's gonna be moving. I need to put my tripod higher because it's too close and the flower will be too big for you guys to see when it's this close. So I will just have to... Nope, I do not have an assistant to do this for me. And this is the first time using this tripod that finally has arrived. So, still learning. And someday it will be all perfect. Okay, that's better. It's not so high anymore. Not too close anymore. So, I'll just attach it on top. And sometimes I might disappear, but that's just to double check. Should I put it higher then? Okay, I'll put it more higher. Sorry for moving again. Oh, Margie only asked for a short video. And here you go. Making an hour tutorial. Oh well, then at least, you know, there are also other members who have this template, who have this flower, and now they can see how I make them, or for the customers in the future who would like to have to see how it's made. So it's okay if it takes a while. I actually wanted to make one whole video, but now it's already part 3, and it could be part 4 even. Okay. And just add glue. Now, in the first one, you do have to cover it all the way with glue because you have to wrap this around the ball, styrofoam ball. And I also mentioned that in my carnation video, the more you glue or the higher you glue, the closer or more compact the flower will be. And for the rose peony, it is important that the first 3 template is compact, wrapped around the styrofoam ball, I think I still need to put this higher, or just, you know what? I'll just shorten my wire. Take this out. So you just start with one, close to next, close to next, strap it around the styrofoam ball. Just like that. And if it doesn't work, if you're having you can always put your finger in here and then push it down. So you can just close it even more. Just like that. Just twist and turn, turn and turn and turn until you say, "Oh, that is pretty." Like I'm doing now. "Oh, that is pretty enough for me." You see? There we have a start. The second one, I will add glue like 3/4 of the template as well. Because this needs to be, oh, you guys can see it anymore. Because this needs to be wrapped around the styrofoam ball as well. And as you can see, I didn't have to color this. That's okay. And if the other one doesn't still work. Oh. And this one is, you have to, let me just attach it first. It's like what you do, you have to stagger them. So when you see the fold, I let me turn this around so you guys can see. So when you see, this is where the cut was of the two. See what I mean? Those two ends here of the petals. So you have to put the next petal on top of it, in between those two petals, like I showed in the chrysanthemum video. You do not layer them exactly on top of each other, because that won't look pretty. I mean, I don't think it would matter much for this one, but for other flowers it would. And there are some flowers where you have to layer them or glue them on top of each other, but those flowers exist too, but not this one. I just can't think of one right now, actually. So just have to, oh, I'm out of screen again. I need to make a dot somewhere, like, to know, like, you have to stay here. So I have a point where I can focus and not disappear from the screen all the time. 22 minutes. I don't know how long. Okay. And you know, the tutorial does take 22 minutes, but if you're doing this all alone and you do not have to pay attention about the camera or your memory card is full, then this shouldn't be a problem. Probably could do it faster. And especially when you do not shade your template. So this start, you know, and if you like and if you want to create a rose peony and a bud, this is perfect bud. All you need to do is add a sepal or something around it and its leaves, and there you go, you have a rose peony bud. See? We have a rose peony bud. Oops. Very large rose peony bud. Or other flowers that look like this. So, the templates, you can probably use them for other kinds of flowers as well. Isn't that wonderful? Okay, it's important that you guys see this. So this is the third one. I'm gonna... Okay. I'm sorry about that. My battery ran empty, so I had to stop making part 5, I think it was. And I already added the third template. So... and it's dry now, the glue, but I'm sorry about that. But there was I think I glued like this one half or 1/3 of the flower templates, and as you can see, if you just do 3, you will have a beautiful rose, and you can even call it distant drum. Or no, I don't think. Yeah, actually you could. If you used, if you add another one, if you add it and you just turn the template around, you see you will have a, oh, I think I have to, hold on, just like that, okay. You could even make a whole different flower. This template is so versatile. You could do a lot with it. Promise. So you could just experiment. Look for a flower that has a lot of curls, like peonies. Some roses also have a lot of ruffles. Ruffles, I mean, not curls. And you can use these templates. You can adjust the size in your design space and just experiment. So I think this one has a really, really great value and for your money, because you could make all kinds of flowers. And in the tutorial, I used the largest template first. And now I'm doing how I originally designed the template. Just start using by using the first template, the small one. So, but enough talking before my battery runs out again. I didn't fully charged it, so I have to talk less and do more. So for this is the 4th template. So should be sheet number 2, and I will just place glue like 1/3 of them petals So now we'll start creating a more open flower. Here you glue higher because you want them to be more compact at start. As you can see here, see, you could even make a rose out of it, and you can't. I hate that you can't see the color because it is absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Maybe you can see it a bit. You see yellow, you see white, you see pink. It's like cotton candy. It's gorgeous. Maybe it doesn't look pretty when you see it. When you're just making them and you're looking at it, you'll be like, oops, that's missing. But once it's together and glued together, it's absolutely pretty. I love it. I'm really happy with this one. So yeah, but I always think I will, of course, will I ever make a flower that I'm not happy about and make a video for it. So if there is a flower that I'm not happy about, I would not put it in my shop for obvious reasons. So you could print, you could make one full peony and then create a bud. I just don't know how to have sepals, but if you have this template and you want to do a bud, just ask me for some sepal templates and I will definitely give you one, and also leaves if you would like, because I know there's no leaves comes with it. I mean, the old orders, I try to add them in the new orders, for the new orders, I mean, but I didn't in the past because I think this is a large flower, and if you're gonna put it in a vase with other flowers, you won't see the leaves anyways, and it will also take a lot of space because it's big. But what I didn't think about was back then was maybe some people just would like to have this a single flower in a vase as well. So yeah. So if you have this template, if you bought it in the past and you would like, and you're in this group and you would like the sepals or leaf to create a bud or a beautiful rose like this one, this could definitely go for a rose. This is just 4 templates and a bowl in the middle. And look how intricate the layers are and ruffled, and I just love ruffles. That's why I like pleating so much and making ruffles and curls. It looks so natural and so pretty. Don't you think? Is it distant drums or I forgot the other flower actually. What the name of the other flower? I can't remember anymore. Well, I have to look up. And there's just so many flowers I still have on my list. And what I do is I hold it, as you can see, between the wires between my middle and ring finger, and I'll just hold it, make a cup shape with my hand, and hold it a bit until the glue settles. That's also very important, to hold it like that, to make sure the shape will stay. You know, I'm not sure how you guys do it. Maybe you just glue and then just let it go, which is also possible, but I like holding them a bit. Maybe even using something like your embossing tool. Let me get it again. Whoops. Put it in the center and push it back. Just push it back. Make sure. I know. And just bloop. And now you'll have it. See? You can create a big one, you can create a small one, you can create a medium one, and you can create a whole bouquet of this flower in all kind of stages and sizes, and like you can even create a bud just by using the first sheet or just 3 templates. And if you, I'm just adding 1/3 here as well, because we're gonna make them more open now. Oops. And if you like some reference, I would suggest to just Google Peony and the word peony, and just, I don't know, look for a flower you see on the internet, and then you say, oh, wow, I want to make that. And, well, there you go. And it's the same with with the Maison Gregoria peony. You could, that's also a template that's very versatile, and also designed. It's just, the tutorial is just one of the many ways this flower can be made. So yeah, it's one of the flowers, one of the few flowers I have in my shop, where you can just make different kind of peonies, of even roses if you wish, with one tutorial, if you just use Google or Pinterest and look for image, like I have tips. I'll just put them like this, and then can you guys still see it? Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking, is it recording? Because I would be so sad if it wasn't, because I only cut this template one time, and I have made a few now for the tutorial, so I'll just make a bouquet out of it. And see, just 1/3, because I want them open, and if it doesn't stick, you can do half, which I think I have to do now. So half again, or else it won't stay. Don't be shy with your glue. And if you're gonna attach it, look how I attach this little, put this petal goes over the, is it stagger? Can someone please leave a comment how you call that in English? How you, I know in Dutch it's like overlappen. Je moet echt met elkaar overlappen, but I don't know in English how to call this. How do you call that? That I put, there's 1 petal, 2 petal, and you have to put this petal between those 2 petals. My goodness. There must be a short word for that, right? Yeah. The outcome is different because, like I said, I used the templates in different order now, like it's mentioned in the tutorial. And just wait till it's dry, and you can always rearrange them, shape them, beautify them, like I always say. Oh gosh, it's getting darker. You can't see really good in the video, but in real life, just trying to show it to you. Okay, maybe this is better? But it is so pretty. It's just gorgeous how... And especially when it's even more prettier when it's all glued together. It's just, I don't know. It's just fabulous. And if you're, again, if your paper, look what happens because of, well, it's a bit unsharp. Yeah, see, they're here. Then that's okay. You won't see. And the only part you see of the flower is this part, this side, but you won't see the back. Just as long as you glue it right, there should be no problem. I also love it like this, just like this only. And you know what you could also do? Later when the glue is dry, you could open them a bit. That's what I'm gonna do later. You just have to wait till the glue is dry. And this flower, you may look like, not sure. But it's like Monet, you know. The longer you look at it, the prettier it gets. And the real Peony has a lot of ruffles, so, and that's the goal, right? To make them look lifelike. And to get them lifelike, you sometimes have to, take some time to prepare for some flowers, especially those intricate flowers. Okay. Look. Oh! Isn't it just gorgeous? Oh, I just hold it and then press it down. Make sure it is attached. Just make sure, you don't have to beautify it now. Don't you just love it? I love it so much. I think it's damn pretty. Look at that. Holy moly. I even surprise myself sometimes. It's also because of the coloring, huh? I wish I did it. It's just... I'm gonna do this again. This color, just for a different Peony, with new templates, which I already have designed. I'll show you guys. Could show you guys if you want. Just if, I think it's up there. You can have a look. Okay, if I'm gonna move a bit, and I can show you the templates that I have. I have to look for at the moment. Right. Well, I know I said I have to. Okay, this is not the Peony. I have to look where it is. But this is like, for example, the glue. I'll finish this first, and then I'll show you guys, and then meanwhile, I'll show you while drying the glue. But look at this beauty. I mean, seriously, isn't that... When I look at this, like in the video, I already think it's pretty. But in real, like, no, seriously, I really love this, also because of the coloring with the pastel. I mean, You can't see it, but you know, well, maybe a bit. Do you see the yellow and the mix? It's so natural looking. It really is. And even here at the bag with all those, do you see that? That's the back. So now let's see. I just press it up. I'm disappearing from screen. Just press it a bit. I do recommend, you know, you can even cut it off. Just cut it off, and you can use it as, you know, as a, for your backdrop for a girl's room, or put it on a canvas, or gifting. Can you imagine this? Receiving a present with this beautiful flower on top as well. It's gorgeous. So I just cut the wire, as we all know, because it was a bit too long for the screen, or else it would disappear from the screen, like it's disappearing now sometimes. But here, so you have the flower. This angle, that angle, this angle, side, upside down, even, and when you're placing it, I think you just have to look at that. I really love it. I will be using this for an arrangement combined with other templates, you know, like a combo thingy, if you haven't yet, or for new clients. So yeah, okay, we'll just let the template dry and I will show you the glue, I mean, and I will show you some of the templates I have made, but did not take the time to finish them yet. But it will definitely come, even if it's out of season. This is the wisteria that I made. I just, you know, but yeah, this is the wisteria I drew, and which I will be making still. This is for the camellia. This is not how the template will look like, but this is for the camellia. This is for one of the tulip that I did not make, but well, maybe next year when it's in season again. I think I had enough with tulips. I made too many tulips, and it was really hard to make. I have to give you that. It was really hard, and I have I think I found and experimented, and I have like 1, 2, 3, 4, I think I have 5 different ways of making the tulip. So, but there's always next year, right? So these are some things for the future. And I'll just put this away. And I also would like to ask you guys which flower you would like to have for... Oops. I know I should be the one deciding this, but oh well. I'm like, why not ask you, all of you? Oh, I think this is really coming up. Which flower to make for the freebie? Look, here are some new flowers. I am not releasing this yet because I actually do want to do a bouquet or floral arrangement, like a combo deal. And the iris was, and the butterfly ranunculus is a part of it. So, but, oh well. So maybe I can do that, you know, if you already have the iris or the butterfly ranunculus and you do want combo deal, you can always get extra discount for having those flowers. So you can pick for the monthly freebie the Theseus butterfly ranunculus. This still is a prototype. It still could change. I still could decide to add another layer. But the real flower also only has one layer. So, yeah. So, this one for the monthly freebie. Let me put this back, okay? We have the Peony Poppy. Yes, I know. Another Peony Poppy. Peony and Poppy. But this one is, yeah, it's different from the Carnation Poppy. Definitely different. And, oh no, it's not this one. That's another thing, another new template that I haven't made yet, but that's for some other time. So, and this is a prototype, and there's still gonna be some adjustments in the center because I don't like that template, so I have to adjust it. But look how cute, you can't really. Okay, memory card was full again, so I'll need to talk less. So that was the Peony Poppy, new template, and then here as last we have the Spider Kitten Lily Gallon. I can't see. This is a prototype. I'm still making some adjustments to the flower. Not really satisfied yet with how the center looks. Oh, this is not completely happy yet, but so I'm still making adjustments for these. I already have templates ready of the second attempt. So it's, as you can see, it does take quite some time to make a flower and to get them as one. So you have those 3 flowers. Leave a comment which one you would like to have as the freebie for June. And the flower with the most vote obviously will win. So here is the Roast Peony. While emptying my memory card, I did already pull down the leaves, or the petals down to create them more open. I would really advise to do this when the glue is dry. Make them a bit more open, and you can also create them like how I did for the pictures in the tutorial. I used the largest template first for the small one, and then added the smaller ones around it. And there you go. There you have the rose paint. Don't you just love the color? Don't you think it's... I think if you guys saw this live, because of the light you can't really see it, but if you would sit here next to me or with me in this room, I think you would love it. So again, make sure the glue is dry before beautifying your flower. You know, some people say, no, it doesn't always, and then, you know, you can always assemble first And once the glue is dry, you can always shape your flower. Pull the leaves back, or pull them again. You know, could always do that. But once the glue is dry, like for now, the glue isn't completely dry, so it's a bit saggy still. But once this is dry, I can play with it more, and I will definitely take a picture of it and post it somewhere. I'll use it for an arrangement as the eye catcher, because definitely this flower is an eye catcher because it's quite big. So yeah. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope everything is clear, and I'm trying to show this flower as good as possible, but really, it's really hard because it's quite big. So, and you can cut off the wire like I said before, and you could also just, you could make leave out the last large 2 templates, and you know, for the second flower, and the third flower you could use 2 templates or 3 for a bud, and you could even make a rose. See how versatile this template is. But I think if you all gain experience and get improved, you will notice that yeah, well, you just have to how you call that, Google flowers, and you'll see that, you know, you could use these templates too. So here you go, the Maison Gregoria's Rose Peony. I hope you will all love it. I think it's really damn pretty. So yeah, let me know if you have questions. Leave a comment, and if you have a request for another flower, please let me know. Yeah, thank you. Oh, and guys, please help me grow on Instagram, and do follow me on Instagram. I really would appreciate that a lot. And if you haven't favorited my shop yet in Etsy, please do hit that favorite shop button, and be you know, and the follow on Instagram. Thank you. I really would appreciate that. Bye bye.